Will you drink to the earth and to the days which have passed upon it? Will you drink to the fullness which was and to friends who have passed on? Will you drink to good company well met?
Jason Aldean catches heat for racist pro-gun lyrics, a modern lynching song. The outlet claims that the song is not just a statement of Aldean's personal politics, but a disturbing call to arms, quote unquote. They accuse the singer of, quote, suggesting that he's gearing up for a race war. And by the way, their evidence for that accusation, that he mentions a race war in the song, is they quote this lyric from the song. Got a gun that my granddad gave me. They say one day they're going to round up. So the Daily Beast sees a race war in that line somehow. I don't see it, but I guess this is like the leftist version of finding Jesus in a piece of toast. I don't know. Many other headlines echoed this sentiment. Perez Hilton published his own screaming headline, Music fans nationwide condemn Jason Aldean's violent new song, an awful music video. Big yikes. CNN agreed, noting that the lyrics allegedly evoke lynching and gun violence. Other artists have denounced Jason Aldean. Last night, Sheryl Crow posted this, I'm from a small town. Even people in small towns are sick of violence. There's nothing small town or American about promoting violence. You should know that better than anyone, having survived a mass shooting. This is not American or small town-like. It's just lame. CMT, the country music television channel, joined the dogpile by abruptly pulling the music video from their rotation. They didn't give, at this point, an official reason for that decision, but the reason is clear. The backlash eventually prompted a lengthy response from Aldean, who released a statement yesterday with this clarification, quote, try that in a small town, for me, refers to the feeling of community that I had growing up, where we took care of our neighbors, regardless of differences of background or belief, because they were our neighbors, and that was above any differences. My political views have never been something I've hidden from, and I know that a lot of us in this country don't agree on how we get back to a sense of normalcy, where we go at least a day without a headline that keeps us up at night. But the desire for it, that's what this song is about. Really know it. In fact, if you immediately assume that lyrics condemning carjackings and random assaults are racist and anti-black, then you have revealed something about your own feelings and assumptions about black people. Okay, if somebody says, I hate carjackings, and you say, well, what do you got against black people? You've admitted something about yourself. It's like if I said, man, I can't stand the lazy, smelly weirdos, and you said, hey, what's wrong with Mexicans? Somebody in the exchange has made an unflattering statement about Mexicans, and it wasn't me. Something similar is going on with this reaction to try that in a small town. Now, with all that said, I must admit that there are some gratuitously violent lyrics in Jason Aldean's song. Okay, we didn't play them for you, so it's a little bit offensive, but listen to these lines from the song. I got some homies with pounds, but we ain't that cool, so I'm thinking about robbery. Got to play this shit smart. It's going to hurt they heart when they find out that it was me that was robbing them. Got to catch him when it's dark, going to run up on his car, that same one we always be riding in. Ran up to his car, made him grab the wheel. I grabbed his neck like I'm Iron Man. Just do what I say. No, you don't want to die in here. If you reach or you tweak, I'm a fire in here. Whew, wow. Really violent stuff from Jason Aldean. Oh, wait, no, that's not Jason Aldean. I'm sorry. That's not Jason Aldean at all. That's one of the top rap songs on YouTube right now from a rapper named King Von. This is actually a posthumous song from the artist who was tragically killed in a gang shooting a few years ago.
There's a lot wrong here with this. This is a man who saw what happens when someone is out of control with their guns.
Yeah.
He was performing in Vegas, and he saw people get, so I don't understand how he could be that disconnected, how people around him didn't say to him, hey, listen, you know what? Maybe there's a better way to do this.
Try that in a small town's lyrics include, quote, got a gun that my granddad gave me. They say one day they're gonna round up. Well, that might fly in the city, good luck. Try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town. The music video features videos of looting, protests, and images of burning the American flag. Jason took to Instagram to respond to the backlash earlier this week, saying that the intention of the song was to refer to the feeling of community and people taking care of their neighbors, quote, regardless of differences of background or beliefs. In the past 24 hours, I have been accused of releasing a pro-lynching song, a song that has been out since May, and was subject to the comparison that I, direct quote, was not too pleased with the nationwide BLM protests. These references are not only meritless, but dangerous. There is not a single lyric in the song that references race or points to it. And there is not a single video clip that isn't real news footage. And while I can try and respect others to have their own interpretation of a song with music, this one goes too far, he wrote.
You've gone too far.
And unfortunately, this became the #1 song on US iTunes. We have a problem in this country about race, and the biggest problem is we refuse to admit that it exists.
Well, don't you think that a lot of this...
You know, and he shows these images. He's got folks from the Black Lives Matter movement, and he's talking about people taking care of each other. And I find it so interesting that it never occurred to Jason or the writers that that's what these folks were doing. They were taking care of the people in their town.
Yes,
Sure
yes,
were.
Whoopi, yes. Those thugs burning down buildings and looting businesses and bashing bystanders. Well, they're just taking care of folks. They were helping. Isn't it astonishing that a song that has no mention of race, a song about taking care of each other and your community, is seen as racist? Doesn't that say something about the accusers? If you hear lyrics against rioting and violence and think it must be an attack against the black community, then guess what? You're the racist.